Hello, I'm Jacqueline McInnes Wood, and welcome back to my official channel.
Hello, I'm Jacqueline McInnes Wood, and welcome back to my official channel. Get ready because today we are diving deep into some serious drama that has the entire fandom completely fired up. So I am sitting here at my desk. It is 3 in the morning. My coffee went cold about 2 hours ago. My eyes are burning from staring at this glowing screen, but I just cannot stop typing because my editor at Soap Opera Magazine wants a piece on the Logan corporate war by Sunrise, and I am going to give her one, but it is probably not the article the network wants me to write because I am just so tired. I am tired of the spin. I am tired of the narrative being pushed on our screens every single day. And honestly, the fans are tired too. The fans are absolutely exhausted by it. We are all watching the same show. We all have eyes. We all have memories, and we all know exactly what is really going on here. And let me tell you, the bold and the beautiful fans are calling out Eric Forrester loudly. They are calling him out as the absolute architect of the Logan corporate war. And they are completely right to do it. Fans are pointing out the cold hard facts, pointing out that he approached Katie Logan himself. He delivered his designs willingly. And now he is playing the victim over a deal he made with a completely clear mind. But the show wants us to feel bad for him. Oh, they really do. The sympathetic music is playing. The music, that soft, sad, manipulative piano melody that always cues up when a Forrester is supposedly being wronged by the cruel, unfair world. The cameras are lingering on a tired, wounded face, lingering for so long, showing every line of stress. And somewhere in Los Angeles, Eric Forrester sits at a drafting table looking utterly crushed, looking like the weight of the world is on his shoulders. And fans are supposed to feel terrible about it. We are supposed to weep for the patriarch, but we don't. We really do not. A wave of viewer frustration has been building on The Bold and the Beautiful for weeks now. And this week it finally boiled over into something impossible to ignore. It is everywhere, on Twitter, on Reddit, in the comment sections of every soap blog on the internet. Fans are done pretending. They are totally done pretending he is a fragile old man caught in the crossfire of someone else's corporate war. Because the receipts are out. The timeline does not lie. And the argument being made by a vocal growing chunk of the B&B audience is blunt. It is harsh. And it is pretty much impossible to counter. He built this, all of it. Every single domino that is currently falling and crushing his family's peace of mind was set up by his own two hands. Let's go back to the beginning, because context matters here. Context is literally everything. Eric was not recruited by the Logans. He was not lured into a trap. He was not manipulated by sharp operators who spotted a confused patriarch and seized their moment to strike. No, that is a total fantasy. He approached Katie Logan first. He walked right up to her. He pitched himself. He convinced her, he looked her in the eye and convinced her to build her entire company launch around his creative vision. And then he delivered the designs, the very designs that now legally belong to Katie and Bill Spencer. He handed them over. That is not the story of a victim. That is the story of a man who made a choice, a man who got cold feet, and a man who suddenly decided the rules of business should not apply to him just because his last name is Forrester. And here's the part that has fans most fired up. The show has made Eric Forrester's cognitive sharpness crystal clear. He is sharp. He is lucid. This is not a confused elder being taken advantage of by predatory business partners. Eric knew exactly what he was signing. He knew exactly what he was delivering. He knew the implications of handing over his legacy to a rival fashion house. So that physical toll he is carrying right now, that slumped posture, those sad eyes staring into the middle distance, that is not the result of exploitation. It is the result of guilt, pure, unadulterated guilt. And let me make something very clear to everyone sitting in the writer's room. Guilt is not the same thing as victimhood. Regretting a decision does not mean you were robbed. Having buyer's remorse does not make you a martyr. This one has everyone talking. Seriously, my inbox is flooded. Write to our editor at amber@soapopera magazine.com and share your hottest take on the Logan War, because I know you have one. Everyone has one, but the fan frustration does not stop there. Oh no. It extends to the entire Forrester family response, because the Forresters are protecting the wrong person. They are circling the wagons around the guy who literally lit the match. And they are screaming at the people who are just trying to survive the fire. Let's talk about Ridge Forrester for a second, because I have a lot of thoughts about Ridge. Ridge crashing that press conference, barging in there like he owns the universe, demanding the designs back, acting like Katie and Bill committed some kind of grand larceny. The absolute sheer audacity of it all. Because let's remember the truth. The same Ridge who pushed his own father into involuntary retirement in the first place. Yes, that Ridge. The son who decided his father was too old, too out of touch, too irrelevant to lead the company he built from the ground up. That is the move that drove Eric Forrester straight out of Forrester Creations. That is the move that pushed him right to Katie's office door. If Ridge had not let his massive ego dictate company policy, if Ridge had treated his father with even basic dignity instead of forcing him out, there is no Logan Fashion House. There is no corporate war. There is no Eric designing for the competition. Every single piece of this disaster can be traced back to Ridge's arrogance. Bill Spencer did not have to say a word about it at the press conference. He really didn't. The facts said it for him. Bill just stood there, looking smug, looking confident, because he knew he was holding all the cards. And he knew Ridge handed them to him. And then there is Brooke Logan. Oh, Brooke, standing at that same press conference, screaming right beside the man responsible for the very crisis she claims to hate. Brooke is acting like her sister committed treason. She is hurling insults. She is making threats. She is playing the loyal Forrester wife to the hilt. But it is so hypocritical, it makes my teeth hurt. Brooke is entirely ignoring the fact that her husband created this mess. She is entirely ignoring the fact that her sister is just trying to build something for herself. Katie used designs that were promised to her. Katie trusted Eric when he came to her. Katie built a whole launch around a promise. And now Brooke is acting like Katie is a thief. What exactly is the crime here? Fans watching on CBS are asking that question in comment sections everywhere. And nobody at Forrester Creations has a clean answer, because there isn't one. Katie didn't break into a safe. Bill didn't hack a server. They made a deal. A legal binding deal with a man who wanted to make a deal. The online reaction has been loud. It has been pointed. It has been relentless. Fans have been crystal clear about what should have happened. Eric Forrester had one job after the seller's remorse hit. Just one job. Tell Katie the designs she already had were hers. Wish her luck on her new venture. And walk away clean. That was the honorable exit. That was the way a true patriarch handles a mistake. You eat the loss. You protect your dignity. You let the people you made a promise to keep what they were given. Instead, he made impossible demands. He wanted it all back. He played the victim card so hard the ink rubbed off, and he let his family turn a private professional failure into a screaming public circus. He let Ridge barge into a press conference and humiliate his own family name. He let Brooke scream at her own sister in front of reporters. Don't be surprised if the writers are building toward a genuine reckoning, because they have to be. Reading between the lines, the longer this goes on, the harder it becomes to frame the Forresters as the heroes of this story. You cannot keep writing scenes where Ridge yells about stolen property when everyone watching knows he drove the getaway car. Something tells me the day is coming when even the most loyal fans will have to admit the truth. The man they have been defending since the beginning is the one who lit the match. Eric Forrester is not a victim. He is the architect. And let me just type furiously for a second about the whole concept of stolen designs in the soap world, because it is a trope we see all the time. But usually there is actual theft involved. Sally Spectra, swapping sketches, someone breaking into a computer, someone taking photos with a hidden camera. That is theft. This is a contract dispute disguised as a moral outrage. And Bill Spencer knows it. Bill Spencer is sitting in his office drinking his expensive scotch and laughing because he knows the law. He knows you cannot steal something that you own. And he owns those designs. He bought and paid for them with the launch of Logan. Katie knows it too. Katie is terrified, sure. She is scared her fashion house is going to flop because of all this terrible PR. She is scared of her sister's wrath, but she also knows she did nothing wrong. She opened her door and Eric Forrester walked in offering her the world. Why should she give it back just because Ridge threw a temper tantrum? The fans are asking this. I am asking this. My cold coffee is asking this. It makes no sense. And the clunky way the show is trying to force us to feel bad for Eric is just insulting our intelligence. We see the sad face. We hear the sad piano, but our brains are screaming, you did this to yourself, buddy. So here we are, a fandom divided, but mostly united in frustration, united in the belief that accountability matters. Even for legacy characters, even for the great Eric Forrester, you do not get a free pass to destroy someone else's business just because you changed your mind. And Ridge is the catalyst. The absolute epicenter of the arrogance. He sits in that CEO chair looking down on everyone, looking down on his father, deciding who is worthy and who is not. And when his father finally showed him he still had it, Ridge couldn't handle it. Ridge had to destroy it. He couldn't just let Eric have a win at Logan. He had to drag it back to Forrester Creations, even if it meant tearing the whole family apart in the process. Brooke is caught in the middle, but she chose her side. She chose Ridge over Katie again for the millionth time in soap history. And she is justifying it by pretending Katie is some kind of corporate pirate. It is exhausting to watch. It is exhausting to write about, but I will keep writing because the deadline is approaching. And my fingers are just flying across the keyboard. I am dumping all this raw, unfiltered frustration onto the page because it needs to be said. The viewers are not stupid. We remember the episodes from 2 months ago. We remember Eric pitching Katie. We remember the involuntary retirement. We remember it all. And we are not going to let a sad piano song erase the facts. So what happens next? What is the fallout of this disastrous press conference, Brooke? And Ridge barged in. They made their announcement. They ruined Katie's moment. They played dirty, really dirty. And for what? To protect designs that Eric willingly gave away? It is a power play, a fierce, nasty power play. And Bill Spencer is not going to take it lying down. Bill is going to push forward with the full collection because the mini collection was a success. He is not going to let Forrester friction stand in the way of making Logan a key player in the fashion industry. He is going to fight fire with fire. And honestly, I am rooting for Bill. I am rooting for Katie because they are the only ones living in reality right now. They are the only ones operating based on facts while the Forresters are operating on pure, unchecked emotion and entitlement. The entitlement is staggering. The idea that Forrester Creations owns everything Eric does even after they kick him out. The idea that Eric can just snap his fingers and void a deal. The idea that Ridge can scream his way to a legal victory, it is wild, absolutely wild. And the fans are calling it out. The comments are brutal. Eric is a grown man. Ridge caused this. Brooke is a hypocrite. It is a chorus of frustration, and it is growing louder every single day. I just hope the writers are listening. I hope they see the reaction. I hope they realize that framing Eric as a victim is a losing battle because the receipts are out. The timeline does not lie. And the truth is Eric Forrester built this mess, and he needs to sit in it. All right, my editor's going to kill me if I don't send this in. I am exhausted. My brain is fried. But the truth is out there. Keep watching, keep tweeting, and keep calling out the nonsense when you see it. Because this corporate war is far from over. And the real villain might just be the guy sitting at the drafting table looking sad while the piano plays. And that is the real tea. That is the unfiltered truth. The Forresters are entirely in the wrong. The Logans, for once, actually have the moral and legal high ground, and it is driving Ridge and Brooke absolutely insane. They cannot handle losing. They cannot handle the fact that they pushed Eric away and someone else caught him. They thought Eric would just fade away. They thought he would go play golf and let Ridge rule the empire. But Eric had pride. He had creativity left in the tank. He wanted to prove them wrong. So he went to Katie. He made the deal. He handed over the sketches. And then when the reality of what he did hit him, he crumbled. He couldn't handle the guilt of betraying his own company, even though his company betrayed him first. It is a tragic flaw, a Shakespearean level of self-sabotage, but it does not make him a victim of Katie Logan. It makes him a victim of his own pride and his own family's toxic dynamics. So stop the sad music.